Dominic Alafaci, good morning to you.
Darren.
We have a bit to get through,
Yes,
Dominic.
quick. Overnight we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 1.4%, the S&P 500 up 1.5%, as with the Nasdaq. And look, I'm getting a bit sick of these activist journalists who are putting the fear of God in retirees. Just to let everybody know, over the last year, the Dow Jones has been up 8%. It's 7% over 3 years and over 11.7% over the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's handy.
But they're frightening people.
Yeah.
You know, we know shares are 3 to 4 year investments, so you shouldn't worry. 12% for the S&P 500, 11% for the last 3 years, and about 15% for. And I can go on. I mean, the Nasdaq's up nearly 13.5% for the past year. So all of this panic is really frightening people. So to investors, relax. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, London's FTSE was up 1.2%, and it's up almost 5.2% for the year. Last year, France's CAC is up 2.3%, but that's the only one that's down. For the last 12 months, it's down 2%.
Yeah.
Germany's DAX was up 2.6% last night, up 29% for the
Up a third.
Year. Yeah. Italy's MIB was up nearly 2% overnight, and it was up nearly 14% for the last year. Gold's up, or $21.10 to $3,243.30 US an ounce. West Texas Intermediate is down. It's down to under $60 a barrel, which is great for the US economy and the rest of the world. So is Brent crude. It's at the 1 and a bit cents US a barrel. And the $A is slightly higher against the greenback and is currently buying 64.34 cents. So not bad value when you go overseas. I like it at 62, so we can export more, but 64 is acceptable in my little book.
Yep.
And the ASX 200 SPY is 32 points higher following yesterday's effort, where our market put on 1.13% or 92 points to end the week at 8,238. That's over 8% for the past year, 4% for the past 3 years, and 9% for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So, again, don't panic. If you see these big headlines, billions wiped off the market since I haven't been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's nearly made up all of the losses. Not quite.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. So there you
Just the shares I follow, they sort of bottomed out, and you think, big drops there, and they've basically bounced back, haven't they?
And with the enjoy your democracy sausage, everybody. I think the distinction between poor Peter Dutton is just not as handsome boy Albanese as Beijing calls him. And look, Dutton is just bald and he's not popular. I feel sorry for him, and I think Albanese is a bald-faced liar, to be honest with you. Right out there. If he had a polygram machine on him, it would have exploded, honestly. But in any event, I prefer a Dutton victory.
Bang.
But because of my aversion to socialism, I don't want a hung parliament, and I hope Albanese wins outright. So if Dutton doesn't win, it's like the footy. If your team doesn't win, you've got to accept it and you've got to congratulate the other team. I just hate him to be negotiating with the anti-Semitic, the Greens. I mean, I'm not Jewish, but Jewish people I know will be packing up and leaving Australia. They're that scared. So anyway, enjoy your democracy sausage. Yes. I'm going to have onions and sauce on mine. What are you going to have, Darren?
Oh, look, definitely onions and sauce, the full Monty.
Very good.
Not that I'll be having one because I voted already.
Oh, yes, actually. My wife's going to vote now, so I've got things. I'll be out of town soon, so.
Yeah. If you'd like to speak to Dominic, any advice on retirement or planning or money, the number is 133 693. Call now and you'll get straight through. Do all of those silly rules apply where if you invest in art, you can't put it up in your house and enjoy it?
If you invest personally, if you buy it in your super fund, you have to quarantine it. You're not allowed to get a benefit.
That's right,
other than a retirement benefit. And it's quite funny. There's a chap I know that's got several cars, vintage cars, that he's put in his
super fund.
And it's driving him mad now.
Why?
He's gradually taking because
he can't drive them.
Well, he's not allowed to look at them.
He's not allowed to look at them.
Not allowed to get because,
not allowed to sit in them.
Well, because some of them are regarded as a work of art. He's got this 1956 Alpha soft top, a little Julia, I think it is. Yeah. It's worth a bomb. And because it's a work of art, opinion for any design, he's really should actually garage it somewhere else where stored, where he can't get a benefit other than a retirement benefit. So you've got to be very careful with self-managed super funds. And the other thing that Albanese is talking about is taxing unrealised capital gains. So there'll be a lot of people who have worked hard, sold their farm, whatever it is, their business, put the money in good faith, and they'll be paying tax even though they haven't sold the asset. It's just unfair.
That is not fair, is it?
No. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll have a better idea next time you're in a couple of weeks, won't you?
Yeah. Oh, look, I hope it's clear-cut for Australia's sake. You know, imagine we're playing Carlton. You don't want to have a draw.
No.
You just want to, if Carlton beat us, they beat us. And your team might be Labor, so if Dutton beats you, we'll just get over it.
Get over it and move on.
Move on. That's my view. But you don't want to have a bloody hung parliament, because then all the fairies at the bottom of the garden, my friend calls the Greens, will be demanding things that really don't make a lot of sense.
The fairies at the bottom of the garden. Give us a call, 133 693. All of the lines are free. Give us a ring, you'll get straight through. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning. How are you going?
Good, Catherine.
How can we help?
I sold a number of shares earlier in the financial year, and so I've decided to put in $30,000 into my super fund.
Yep.
I then filled out a intention to claim a tax deduction on my personal super fund.
Yep.
And I've just noticed that the super fund have taken out $4,500 out of it.
They've made a mistake. You need to get onto them quick, smart, because you've made what's called a deductible contribution. You've requested that you get a tax deduction for that. So they... Oh, sorry, you made a... Did you want to get a tax deduction, I should say, Catherine? Or did you want to make a non-concessional?
I wanted to, yes.
Just put it in directly. So they've treated it as a concessional contribution. You wanted to treat it as a non-concessional. So you better get onto them and tell them you want it to be treated as a non-concessional.
Thanks, Catherine. To Anya, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm downsizing. I'm 65 years old.
Yep.
I only have a small, very tiny super.
Yes.
But I want to roll over the excess profit from my house into my superannuation to supplement my age pension in 2 years.
Yep.
Is that something that you recommend?
Oh, look, it's generally a good idea, because if you invest the money outside of super, you may incur income tax, whether that be income tax on the income and also capital gains tax. So generally it's a good idea, and you can put in up to $300,000 before you're 75 years of age.
And not taxed on that like that previous lady?
No, the poor lady, because it's $30,000, it looks like the maximum concessional contribution, so you've got to make sure it's a non-concessional contribution. But if you're doing a rollover from the sale of a house, the excess, that's called a downsizer contribution, so that's a third sort of contribution, and that's definitely non-concessionally treated. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, because I won't have enough to live on my super, but if I get the age pension,
that'll supplement it. Yeah, that's great.
Amount.
Yep, that'll help. But that'll help a little bit. Yeah, that'll help a little bit. Okay, Anya.
Thanks for the call. To Sue, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm 70, retired, self-funded.
Yep.
Can I take money out of my super to do a renovation on the house?
Absolutely, Sue. Knock yourself out.
Go crazy.
Well, don't go crazy. Make sure it's within, your budget, etc. But certainly there's no tax to pay unless you're in one. You're not in a government fund, eh?
I don't think so. My husband's in another room, so I can go tell him now we're going shopping.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. All good there, Sue. Thanks for the call. And time for Yvonne just quickly. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Terrific, Yvonne. How can we help?
I've just got a simple question. I'm with Hester.
Yes.
And I'm currently going back to theatre for my second time with cancer, and that's okay.
Yep.
But I can't get in contact with them because of their blackout period.
Oh, no.
So, look, my question is, I just want to know, I'm still working, I'm 61, and I've used income protection before through Hester, and I just want to know what the rules are for that company, and I can't track anyone down. I've tried an online...
Okay, best thing to do is write to the trustee. Look online for the trustee's name and address and send a letter to the legal department. They have an obligation to handle your request for a claim within a reasonable period of time.
Good advice. See you, Dominic.
Ciao, Darren.